Welcome to Blitz and Bling, the LSU Sideline Series, where deep tradition meets game day glam. Host Bunnie Cannon, daughter of LSU's legendary Heisman winner Billy Cannon, and Yael Lofton, who's worked in LSU football operations for nearly 4 decades. Both bring their extensive experience to the show with history and insights into the world's greatest athletic program. You'll have a sideline seat to the most electrifying show in college football from 2 people who have been on the inside of the program since 1987. They'll talk to the coaches who've shaped dynasties, former players chasing greatness, the fans who bleed purple and gold, and the behind-the-scenes MVPs who make it all sparkle. It's tradition, it's pride, it's legacy, and it's grit, all with a little shimmer on the side. So buckle up, Tigers. This is Blitz and Bling with Bunnie Cannon and Yael Lofton.
1, 2, 3,
Welcome to Blitz and Bling, the LSU Sideline Series, where deep tradition meets game day glam. I'm Bunnie Cannon.
And I'm Yael Lofton, and today we are beyond excited to have Eddie Kennison, former Tiger legend, on our podcast with us today. We can't wait to get started with Eddie and talk about his career from his playing days at LSU to the NFL to what he's doing now at LSU Sports Properties. So welcome, Eddie.
Well, man, I tell y'all what, this is so gorgeous. Y'all were filming the first segment before I came in, and I was looking at the monitor outside. And the first thing I noticed, because they didn't have sound outside, were the beautiful headphones, because they're all blinged out. Blitz and Bling, right?
Yep.
And then
Blitz
the
and
footballs. So the thought behind what you ladies are doing, I think is absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait to see where it goes from today in 5 or 10 or 20 years from now. So I'm so proud of y'all.
Right.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
We thought we might be canceled after the second show, so
Yeah.
at least we'd have you on, so that's good.
They won't cancel you, so we're
Yeah.
good. We're getting all of our first guests. We want to make sure nobody will cancel, and no one's going to cancel Eddie Kennison.
No.
Well, thank y'all for having me on.
Well, thank you. I've been watching you for years, and you are our vintage, I like to say. So I think you played either right when I was in school or a little bit after, while I was still working there, right as soon as I graduated. But 13 years in the NFL, and you were a track athlete too. And I heard that you ran a 40 in 4.3, and I think my dad ran it in a 4.4. So you were faster than him.
Mm-hmm.
You're in 2 sports Hall of Fames. So tell me you're at LSU Sports Properties now.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like when you first heard LSU and they were recruiting you? What did you think about LSU, those 3 letters?
Well, to be honest, LSU wasn't even on my radar.
Really?
It was not. Coming out of Washington, Marion, in Lake Charles, Louisiana, I went to a couple football camps, like Texas A&M, and I got to meet those guys there. So, as recruiting was happening, I was being recruited by LSU, but it wasn't on my radar. So I went to visit Michigan. I went to visit Texas A&M. I went to visit Florida State, and after Florida State, because it was my 3rd visit, I think back then we had 5 official visits that we can go on.
Correct.
And Friday night, I committed to Florida State.
Oh, wow.
And the next morning, that's right. The next morning, I go in and meet with the head coach. I won't say any names. Y'all can go back and look at what it is. And he came in, he said, "Mike, I'm surely glad you're going to be a Seminole." Well, my name isn't Mike. So I looked up at him and I said, "Coach, my name isn't Mike. And you know what? No, I'm not going to be a Seminole."
That's right.
And I called my high school head coach right after that meeting, and I said, "You know what? I'm tired of traveling. I'm tired of the recruiting." I said, "Call Curly Hallman over at LSU. I'll take a visit there next weekend just to, get this over with, to have another one. And that one, we just have to drive an hour and 50 minutes, 2 hours." Well, on Tuesday the following week, Curly Hallman and Larry Edmondson, who was the head coach, the receivers coach at the time, they showed up in Lake Charles on a Tuesday. And I went to pick them up at a gas station that was around the corner from my parents' house. And Curly gets in my truck with me to ride back to the house. And back then, we had loud music in our truck and all of that. Well, Curly turns my radio up in my truck, and he starts dancing, sitting down in my truck. He looks like a fish out of water.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And right when he did that, I said, I'm going to LSU. And this is even before my visit. Yeah. And that Friday, I took my visit to LSU and committed to LSU on that weekend.
That's incredible. Curly gets a bad rap sometimes, but Curly Hallman got Eddie Kennison.
I'm telling you. Amen.
And I still love Curly Hallman to this day. We still speak. He is a wonderful, wonderful human being.
Yes. I spoke with Coach Hallman. I believe it was last year. I was able to search him out, and we needed to get some information, and we were doing a video for some stuff that we wanted him to be a part of, and he's doing good. He said, I can't believe you're still there. And I'm like, I am. Thank you.
That's right.
But, just another reason why we want to do our show, because stories like that.
That's right.
No one would ever really know that,
That's right.
And it's important. Yeah. And, we're thrilled for Coach Hallman doing his dance and turning the music up. That's right.
You can just imagine Curly looked like a fish out of water in that truck. And I was
so
like,
funny.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Well, he coached my brother at Texas A&M. So when he came here, we were thrilled. I was younger. I didn't know very much about football at the time, but just always a super great guy, always nice, incredibly kind to my family. So
That's right.
I'm friends with him on Facebook too, so I'm going to tell him thank you for getting Eddie Kennison.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, he still sends messages on Facebook and everything like that. So yeah, I'm glad he's doing well.
Good.
He's good.
All right, so our culture is a big part of LSU, right? And so even in all of South Louisiana. So how did your time at LSU when you were on our team shape you as a person, not just a player?
Wow. Back then, we didn't have like all of the things they have today, the social media aspect of things. So we really had to dial into each other as players. We had to lean on each other for everything that we were looking for comfort, for assurance, for pick-me-ups. And we had to build that culture because we were all we had at that time. Right. We stayed in Broussard Hall, which was away from all of the other campus students. We were kind of in our own little world. And we created an environment where it was safe for us as a football team. And we had the dorm Graham Hall next to us, which was all of the old Graham. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was, I think it was like an 8 or 10 story, and it was all of the female athletes. So they were kind of by themselves. Right. And so that little corner at Broussard and Graham, it was like all of athletes. So we got to, play games. We got to just sit on the front of Broussard steps in Graham Hall and get to know one another and understand who we were as athletes, where we stood in the place at LSU. So it was a culture that was really, really built. Not that there's not one now, but we're all we had. We didn't have social media and cell
We actually
phones.
had to talk to each other face to face.
And you didn't have cell phones back then either.
It was, but it was like...
They were just starting. I think they were the bag phones for your car, because that was when I first had one. It was like a big bag, and I thought I was just top notch. I had a bag phone.
And it was like $2.30 per minute, so you couldn't talk long.
Yeah, that's right.
Emergencies only.
That's right, emergencies only.
Right.
But that was the culture. That's what we built in. To this day, my teammates, from LSU, we still communicate, whether it's alumni games or practice or just a game in general where we will all get together, and just tell old stories and talk about all of those beautiful memories that we helped create.
Do you think that the kids today, do you think it was better back then without all the social media and all of that? I mean, we all know social media is great, and we love the phones, and I'm the first one that would not give the phone up, but I do remember the time before that.
Right.
What do you think the differences are between what you had here at LSU and what the kids today have, other than the money and the, all the things?
Right. Well, I think the most important thing was the actual social skills, us being able to communicate and have an actual conversation about whatever, about feelings, about family, about whatever the case may be, and you got a true face value for what that was. Because you didn't have to read through a text message or a DM or anything like that. because we all know today when a lot of the kids, including my kids, and even me sometime, I look at a text message and I misunderstand what the text person is sending me. So I have to call them and say, hey, what does this really mean?
Right.
And and more times than not, it means something totally different than what I thought I
The
read.
emotion's missing from it.
That's right. Yeah.
Cool. Well, now you're involved in LSU Sports Properties. You're a senior account executive there in sales. So tell us how, from your time at LSU, then going to the NFL, and then now coming back to LSU and being in this role, how has that helped shape you?
Yeah. So my initial, and I'm a backstory a little bit and come forward. I was in 2020. I was moving to Napa Valley.
Ooh,
And
that's beautiful.
exactly, right? So that's why I wanted to retire. And I still do want to retire, in the California Napa Valley area. A lot of things are changing now because I have grandkids. But I was moving to Napa Valley, and Ed Orgeron was the head coach in 2020. And Kevin Falk was the director of player development at that time. And Kevin had gotten promoted to running backs coach. And so Ed and I connected, and he asked me to be one of two people. It was myself and Kelvin Shepard that he hired to be the directors of player development. And that's why I came back to LSU. No other reason than I could lend who I am as a person, as a man of God, to our young athletes that are coming through LSU now. And I immediately turned that moving van around and came back to LSU.
I forgot about that.
And if you can remember, there's a lot of things that I don't remember, but I remember this vividly. I was hired on March 14th. It was a Saturday. It was an official hiring day for LSU. I guess it was a time period.
Yep.
The following Thursday, I believe it was March 18th, is when they shut the country down for COVID.
That's
right.
Right.
And so I got thrust into this role, Kelvin and I, and we had to speak with our players and everyone over Zoom and
wow.
FaceTime and all of that fun stuff. So it was a great learning curve for me to go in and dive with our players, to speak with them either in a group or individually. So I got to know them without all of the other distractions with football and with school. So it helped shape and mold me in that role to be able to say, man, this is what I was born to do, is to be in this role. And then when Coach Kelly came in, they asked me to move into administration, into sports properties, where I am now. And it gives me another insight of what LSU, one of the components that LSU deals with is, marketing and helping larger businesses in the Baton Rouge metropolitan area and beyond help their businesses be marketed in LSU through all sports and help their names get out. And it also helps raise money for LSU athletics as well. So it's been
That's incredible.
A beauable delight to be a part
Absolutely.
of this. Yeah.
You've been able to touch on so many aspects of LSU athletics. So that's great.
Can I ask you about your pro career? Because
Sure.
every child dreams of going to the pros in something.
Yes.
I wanted to be an ice skater with Dorothy Hamill. I wanted to do that. That I was bottom heavy. That was never going to work. My dad says find something else. You got to find another sport.
I love it.
But I mean, 13 years in the NFL. What is it? 1.5 people. 1.5% of people from college go to the pros.
Well, if that number has gone up, when I was coming out, it was less than 1%.
Yeah.
That makes it to the National Football League.
So how do you stay in the National Football League for 13 years? I mean, that's a long time.
It's only by God's
That's
grace.
Right. Amen.
There's no other question about it. I can go into the work that I put into helping me stay in the National Football League. Track and field, help me stay competitive, help me my muscles stay loose and stretched and all of that.
And everything.
Training year round, I was training. But it's also the work that I put in on a daily basis, really understanding like the business component of the National Football League, and also by God's grace. I mean, there's a lot of times, a lot of injuries that probably should have and could have taken me out and ended my career early. But I was able to heal in such a way that I was able to play 13 seasons, and it's only by God's
I'm
grace.
gonna tell you, that's incredible.
I know.
That's incredible.
God has big plans for Eddie Kennison.
Yeah, he does.
No question.
And I get to be a part of those just about every day, so I love it.
And I'm glad it's at LSU.
Yes.
That's right.
Me too.
That's right.
And you also have a coffee shop.
I do
Tell
have a
us
coffee
about
shop.
your coffee shop.
Yeah, so the coffee shop is called Go To Coffee, GEAUX,
Yep.
the
I
number
didn't
2
know
coffee.
that.
Yes, Bunnie.
Yeah. And, it's in a beautiful little community called Point Marie, right off of River Road. And, I did it with the intent, because I have a 12-year-old son that lives with me full time. And I did it with the intent of teaching him the entrepreneurial spirit of having a business and, knowing how to do numbers and being social and talking with people and treating people with dignity and respect and serving people.
Mm-hmm.
And it just turned into this really cool little place where runners and cyclists and some of our athletes, they come in. It's just an outdoor little court, and they come and they drink coffee, and I enjoy doing every aspect
Yeah.
of it.
And it's open, Thursday through Sunday?
Thursday through Sunday.
I'm gonna have to
Sunday
go
in
there
the
'cause I
mornings.
love some coffee.
Yeah.
I have one every day.
I
Well,
keep
2 of
telling
them every
Eddie
day.
I'm going to come by, and I still haven't. He's probably been open, almost
Yeah, a
going
little
on year
over a
2.
year.
Yeah, fixing
Yeah.
to start year 2.
Maybe we
and,
could go on location and do Blitz and Bling from the
from the coffee shop.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
we would love that.
How about that?
That'd be
That'd
amazing.
be fun.
I'm all for it. The answer is yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's
Good,
it.
good, good,
We'll
good,
do
good,
it.
good.
So, if you had to take one lesson that you learned over your entire career that you could tell to an athlete today,
Mm-hmm.
what would it be?
Only one?
To say, well, you can give us a few. We got plenty of time.
You can say
Sure.
whatever you want to say, my darling.
The first thing that I would absolutely say to any athlete, male or female, I would ask them a question first. Do you love what you're doing? And depending on what the answer is would be my follow-up. If you do love it, are you having fun doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So right now, we're not talking about anything about the sport. We're talking about them as a person, as an athlete. And then I'll dive more into who they are, where they grew up, and then we'll get into sports. Because sports is something that drives a lot of athletes away from fears that they've grown up with or fears that they're constantly dealing with on a daily basis. So I would ask them, do they love it, and are they having fun? And then I'll follow up depending on what answers I get from those two things.
Do you still talk to the kids, the
I
athletes
still talk
today?
to the athletes, yes, and a lot of them come to my office on the 3rd floor in
Oh,
the
that's
admin
good.
building.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love it. If you walk into my office now, I have a chalkboard that was supposed to be used for work, but they write on there like Benny Brazil. I use Benny because he's on
Yeah.
there. Benny Brazil came by on this day. Cecil Collins come by and he says, "Hey man, I came by. I
Cecil the
love
Diesel.
you."
Diesel
Right.
the Diesel.
And there's
yeah.
a few other athletes that just come by. If I'm not there, they leave me a little note on my board, and I hope one day that I can just take that board and stick it on my wall somewhere
yeah.
because it's so
That's
beautiful.
incredible.
Yeah.
Don't you love that? That's part of being where I am and right up the steps at the football ops on the 2nd floor. I'm the first office with Coach Kelly, and so I get a lot of drive-bys, and so I get to see so many of our former athletes when they
Those
come.
are the best visits.
Oh, they're the best visits, and they're unexpected, and you're not really sure when they come in, but our door is always open for our former athletes, and I love seeing their kids, and some of them even have their grandkids with them, and they get to show them what they helped to build
That's right.
and what LSU is now, that they, did the blood, sweat, and tears
And
for
if you
back in their day.
you put
So
candy in your office, they stay longer.
I know I need to get some candy. I need a blinged out jar, Bunny.
We can
I
do
need a
that.
Blitz and
Look,
Bling jar
I can hook you
with
up.
candy in it, so we can promote it. So
That's
Yep,
right.
We can hook you up.
And I know every time that I've walked up those stairs and Yael is in that office, I know what I'm going to get every time I walk into your office. That beautiful smile there,
Thank you.
and a big hug, and a big, when you get ready to leave, a big "I love you."
That's right.
Can't wait to see you
It's
next
just
time.
sweetness.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
I'm so sweet.
You are.
That's
You
right.
really are. It makes a difference because in this day and time, there's a
You
lot
know
of
what?
people
We
that
all
just aren't.
we all need that sweetness or love or whatever you want to call it. Everybody needs that
That's
at least
right.
once a day
At least once a day.
from somebody.
That's
or,
right.
or even just a
Right.
smile.
A smile.
That's right.
You know, they need,
That's
and
right.
especially these kids, they need to know that people care about them because, and I'm all about NIL. I love it all. But sometimes it seems like things get lost in it.
Mhm.
So they need to see that there are people that care about them, and not just because of what they can do for the program.
That's right.
Or
That's right.
so, do you have any thoughts on NIL and everything going on today?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I love every aspect of it. Um, Obviously, there's some things that they're working on to button up some things to make
Right.
it even better than what it is.
Right.
But I love it. I had a question one time, and this is kind of funny. I was like, can we go back to like 1992 and 93
Yeah,
and get
can we
some
make
back?
that
Get some back
retroactive?
money,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's right.
How far back can we go?
How
That's
far
right.
back?
That's
But I love it. I mean, and even the guys before me that played in college and the National Football League, they paved the way for me to have the career that I had. And I like to believe the guys and the girls that played in my era, we helped pave the way for what the kids are having today. And that's called growth.
Yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be. So I love every aspect of it. I love that the kids are being able to speak their truth, speak their voice, and use their name, image, and likeness, and make money off of what they're doing and what they've worked so hard to do to this point in their career.
Right.
And some
And
of them are doing such positive
That's
things
the
with
thing,
it.
you know, sometimes when it's a debatable topic on how you feel about NIL or not, but I think there are so many kids, though, that are doing great things
That's
with the money they're able to get for doing the craft that they do.
Mhm.
And that's great. I know a lot of our kids give back, and they're, there's been a couple instances at Christmas or at different times when a couple of our guys have wanted to know the names of the men and women that help keep our office spotless,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and or the cafeteria in the PNC, the ladies and the gentlemen that help serve, and the greeting you get every time you go in our PNC for their breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So, and they've wanted to know their name so they can give them an envelope. And sometimes they wanted them to know who it was from, but a lot of them didn't. So, that's positive.
That's positive.
That's
That's
sweet.
positive.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's
And
very
that has
sweet.
that has a lot to do with what they see in the building from Yael, from a Coach Kelly, from a
Yeah.
Coach Wilson. See them and how they interact with people,
Yeah.
and also the things that they're getting from home is to give back. And so these young athletes now are paving the way for the future athletes that will ultimately
That's
come
right.
through LSU.
That's right.
I really wish that most people who just watch the news and they see these kids on TV could come and walk through and meet them, because they are just big kids.
Oh, yeah.
They're
That's right.
18 to 22 years old, and they
Right.
are they're so much fun. They have so much life,
That's right.
and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
put on such a big stage.
Hmm.
Anything you would say to them to kind of just give them a little bit more advice?
Sure. The one thing that I would say immediately is just continue your growth in who you are as a young person. Seek advice from someone that you trust, and go and learn life's experiences from someone who's been there before, and just go sit and have a conversation with them. Don't have a closed mind, don't have a closed heart, and think at 17 and 18 years old that you have everything figured out.
Yeah.
Listen here, there's a lot of things you do have figured out. There's a lot of things that you know better than me, even as a 52-year-old man or someone else is older, but that person has had life's experience.
Yeah.
And just go and sit and have that conversation with them and ask questions.
What former athlete would you pick to sit down and have a dinner with?
Just one?
Just one. Just one.
Muhammad Ali.
Wow.
No
Love
question.
That's a good one.
Love that.
Oh, I tell you what, his name,
He was
image, and
incredible.
likeness, he was absolutely incredible. I think I've seen every documentary about Muhammad Ali. If you ever come into my house, you'll see Muhammad Ali pictures and posters.
Wow.
Right.
And
Remember
they
that
have
now,
there was a book, it's called GOAT, Greatest of All Times. And there's only 10,000 copies of this book that was made. And I was able to get one signed by him. So
Did you ever meet him?
That's awesome.
I never met him. Here's another story.
Tell it, honey.
Yeah.
Tell it.
So the year they opened his museum in Kentucky, I was asked to go and be a part of the ceremony. Well, I had training camp that weekend, and it was either pay a $50,000 fine
Oh, my
or
goodness.
go to the Ali opening of his museum.
Mhm.
And at the time, I was like, 50 grand.
That's a
Yeah,
lot of money.
At some point, I'll just take, a couple grand and fly in and go see the museum
Yeah.
and maybe see him. And looking back on it now, I wish I would have paid the $50,000 to go and celebrate that opening before he passed away.
Opportunity of a lifetime.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I passed it up.
That's incredible.
All right. Well, we're fixing to start a lightning round with you. So it's like wrap up, quick answers,
Okay.
first thing that pops in your head.
Okay.
All right. Bunny, you want to take the first 3 and I'll take the last 2.
What's your favorite pregame meal at LSU when you were playing?
Oh, grilled chicken and meat sauce spaghetti.
I thought you were going to say meat sauce surprise. I was like, oh, what's in the surprise? And what was your toughest opponent ever? This could be LSU or in the pros.
Wow. I probably think at LSU at the time it was Florida. I think Spurrier
they
had
were
a
a
team.
powerhouse back
They were a
then.
powerhouse back then. My toughest component, National Football League, it was probably Denver after I left Denver. And that's another story. But
Yeah. We'll save that for our next time
that's right.
you're
right.
with us.
That's right.
You want to take the next one?
Favorite LSU tradition?
Oh, Victory Hill Walk.
Amen.
Oh, no question.
Yep.
There's
yep.
a lot of great things, but
I
Victory
love
Hill
to see
Walk.
those players. And I like to see the older players come back
Yes.
and walk.
Yeah, because, when we were all in school here, you stayed at the Holiday Inn in Gonzales, and when my husband played, and you pulled down North Stadium Drive, and they just unloaded off the bus and
Yeah, I
walked
remember
walked right into the room. So my husband and a lot of us, our guys, never got to experience what is now Victory Hill Walk.
Mhm.
So I love it when the guys come back and they get to walk with the team down the
right.
hill because it's electric.
It's
something.
electric.
Yeah,
And it
Did they do
never
that
gets
before?
old.
it never gets old.
Did they do that like in the 50s and 60s?
I'm not sure.
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know if they. I don't know if they did that back then.
I doubt it. I think.
We'll have to find.
Yeah.
I'll do some research.
Yeah.
Michael Bonnet would probably be
He
the,
would-
the guy
Yeah,
to go to.
that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
He would know.
Go to hype song.
Oh, man. The Man Right Here by Mystical.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And last one word to describe LSU fans.
Electric.
Electric. I love it. I love
That's
it.
pretty
That's
good.
a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Is there anything else that you want to say to the people out there listening? All 2 of them.
Well, you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But what I would say, and it's 2 phrases that, for me, giving anyone something of encouragement is that I love you with the love of Christ. There's absolutely nothing that you can do about it, and be a light
Amen.
that shines so bright today that it has the impact to save someone's life.
That's
Amen.
incredible.
Yep.
Turn your light on for somebody today, people.
That's right. Turn it on.
Turn it on. We're Blitz and Bling, the LSU Sideline Series.
Yes, yes. And we
Go
want to
like us and tune in.
Yeah, we want to thank Eddie for being our guest today. Eddie and I love you, and it's so good to have you on this podcast with us. So
Yeah.
Thank you for being here with us.
Thank y'all
Thank
very
you.
much,
Yes,
and I wish
yes.
y'all the best of luck.
Thank
This is going to
you.
be awesome.
Thank you. You have to come back on when we have 3 or 4 more fans.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes,
I'm
Or
in.
subscribers.
Go Tigers!
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
You've been listening to Blitz and Bling, the LSU Sideline Series with Bunnie Cannon and Yael Lofton. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an inside look at LSU football. Share it with your fellow Tiger fans and join us next time for more stories from the heart of Death Valley with loads of sparkle.